Hi there, Starscream back to look at a film which some of you may or may not have heard of, and the film is Robotjox, and it's kind of a Harryhausen meets Dumb-Down, and I'm referring to the effects here and not the plot. If there is a plot at all, but let's see if there is one. The actual film is established from the beginning. We've had a nuclear holocaust, war is forbidden and banned, there's two fractions at war on the Earth, and the only way that we compete is in a gladiatorial ring with mechs. Sounds vaguely familiar, doesn't it? I'm afraid that is kind of the gist of the film. That is intensively the story of the film. Now, this unwitting fellow we see on the floor is about to become the unfortunate victim of a very nasty person called Alex. And he has a horrible, horrible accent. They haven't quite made up their mind whether he's Count Dracula or a Russian diplomat. Now, watch this effect. This is absolutely hilarious. Watch the foot. Look, it's just snapped his own foot. Oh, my goodness. Never mind. Let's carry on with the plot, if we can establish there is one. Now we're introduced to somebody by the name of Achilles, that chap with the funny scar on his face. You've heard of Achilles' Last Stand, you know, Led Zeppelin song, blah, 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 blah. I'm not sure if they're playing on words, but he's the arch rival to that other guy, Alex. Now, this is his last fight. We're preparing for the last fight, and they're fighting over a particular state which has a lot of ore and minerals. But they found out, they think there's a saboteur in their own midst. There's somebody who's giving information to the other side, obviously to gain money, provenance, power, blah, blah, blah. Same old story. We've heard this crap before a million times. Let's have something original. Apparently, the most important state at the moment is Alaska. And here we're just privy to a little scene of Achilles kicking the shit out of some of his own comrades. But these just aren't everyday comrades, and they're not the Power Rangers. Apparently, they're genetically bred Robotjox. Apparently the correct name for them is Genjox. What a stupid name. That sounds like some sort of painful underwear you might wear, or some... No, I won't go down that way, okay? They're called Genjox, and these two are both experienced Robotjox pilots, as we know that's Achilles. And they've been given these little vials. Do you really want to know what they want them to do with them? Genetically bred, engineered, where do they get the DNA? We won't talk about that anymore. We'll brush that aside and carry on.
Just skip the middleman and make a direct deposit.
Haha, so funny. Right. Here we see the peasants here, ruffling around here, waiting to watch their heroes go into battle. Oh yes. This is the first proper mech battle in the film, and I think the film's been on for half an hour so far, and we've had no robo-jocking. Oh dear. Alright, let's get on. Let's go and see some action at last. Yeah, look, the prospect of action's really getting them going. You know what? This guy's going to take a bet. This film is straight to DVD. And you know what? I think he's right. Look at this. Look, he's getting into his mech now. And look at this. Look at the pomp and ceremony around. Anybody think he's an astronaut going into space? It's not like it's the first time he's ever piloted this bloody thing, is it? Never mind, never mind. Let's carry on. I've got to say, though, this bit now reminds me of Star Trek. You know the bit where they fly around the Enterprise and they keep looking at it and waltzing around it and staring at it and marvelling at it? It's a bit like this bit. This bit goes on for like 20 hours, you know? Just approaching that thing. Could it go any slower? Talk about padding the film out. Alright, keep cool now. Keep calm. Remember what your doctor said. Here we see Achilles prepping himself up for the battle. Damn, that's got to hurt. A thigh-buster. Okay, this is all very atypical of these sort of films, isn't it? So I don't really need to go into any details, so we'll skip all this. This goes on for ages anyway. And here we see at last, we're about to get the full-on shot, I think, of his... Oh no, we've got his feet. Ah, that's marvellous, isn't it? Well, I would imagine that in a few minutes we will. Well, we've got his shoulder. Are you going to give us any full shots or not? Well, at last we get to see what this mech looks like. And you know what? It looks quite good, actually, doesn't it? As does the gladiatorial ring they're fighting. And we see his opponent there, Alexander, ready and willing to go. And we see the stupid spectators wearing their masks, looking like little Muppets or something out of Star Wars. They look like Jawas, don't they? Never mind, let's get back to the fight. Now, this is what we've all been waiting for. A one-on-one match between Alexander and Achilles. Well, let's hope our wait hasn't been in vain, shall we? That's it, you stomp your foot, man! Yeah! Well, at last we're into a fight, and to be honest with you, I don't really want to ruin it. You can see it's stock frame animation, so I don't need to point out the obvious. But what I would like to point out is, why is he so goddamn slow? This is a high-tech super mech, is it? Oh, it's gonna take about 45 minutes to reach each other in conflict, aren't they? Luckily for us, though, they do have the ability to fire at each other before they get anywhere near. Damn! Look out, Achilles. Come on, man. Counter-attack. Come on. We got Achilles on the right. Alexander on the left. Go for a fire shot. Yeah! That's what we want to see. A bit more explosions. A bit more carnage. Damage. Yeah! Come on. Is that the best you can do? Come on. Damn, that little model looked like it was in paint. Right, as you can probably tell, the effects are not so good in this film. But you know what? You kind of get the gist of it. And as a kid, when I saw this was the business. So I've got to say, as this film is not great, damn, it is entertaining, especially this bit. Now look at that, a laser pinpointing off deflected. Yeah, I don't know where it's going, it just seems to be reflecting to thin air, but there we go. Now he's getting a lock on. This supposedly is his super weapon, and apparently it has absolutely no effect. It's like watching Power Rangers now, and he reflects it back into his own leg. What a stupid secret weapon. This is another part of the story. The only other part is they know they've got a saboteur, or somebody who is leaking information to the other side. We will find out who this son of a bitch is, but for the time being, we're going to have to play it by ear. Now come in the marshals, because it's gloves off now. We're going to remove the weapons, and it's one-on-one, mech on mech. Yes, now some one-on-one fisticuffs. Let's get it on. And Alexander wastes no time trying to kick the shit out of him. He deflects it with his arm, but unfortunately, he wasn't quick enough, and down you go. You know, it's like kind of a turtle on its back, isn't it? He's not going to get up anytime soon, and the crowd are none too pleased about this, especially if you bet money that this film was going straight to DVD. My God, you'd be pissed off. Take note of her. You'll see her later on, all right? So that's all I say about her. Now, what's going to happen to Achilles? Will he manage to revive himself to take on the oncomer? Come on, Achilles. Get up. Pull yourself together, mate. Come on. Come on. Wake up. Wake up. Yeah, that's it. He's back on form. That's enough to scare the shit out of you. What a good move. Flame torch his bloody leg. I've got to say, I can't really do this film justice as regards narrating the fight scenes, but he does apparently an outlawed manoeuvre. He fires a projectile. And once the laser's been removed, he shouldn't be allowed to do this. It's heading towards Achilles, or the stand that is. Achilles jumps into the way of it, tries to deflect it. He's not stable, he's lost a leg, he's going down, but unfortunately, he's going down into the spectators, and we're going to go for one almighty massacre. What do you expect if you have spectators hanging around a mech battle? My God, are these people retarded, stupid, or just completely insane? Look at the carnage caused because of it. But I don't really want to go down to the moral implications of this film, so needless to say, Achilles is kind of, you know, upset. Well, in light what have just happened, they hold an inquest to see what the hell have just happened. How could he use a weapon which they knew the whereabouts of? How could Alexander have fired on Achilles with a projectile when that's strictly outlawed when it comes to, what shall I say, fisticuffs? So they take it to a panel of judges, and the judges rule in actual fact, you're both out of order, you're both out of line. Alaska is still up for grabs, you're going to have to have a rematch. But, as we know, Achilles said, that's my last fight. Here Achilles tells his sponsor or his friend, that's it. I've done my fights, that's it, I'm out. Sod the reporters and sod you. I ain't taking on Alexander again. Now here we go to see Achilles' retirement. Now I'm not going to dwell on this because there is no point, and I'm sorry I've got to do this to you lot. It's going to be a two-part review. I tried to get it done in one because there's not much plot, but I'm trying to do the mech battles justice because that's the only thing that makes this film worth watching. So, Achilles gets drunk at this bar. Well, if he isn't already drunk, he's going to get even more drunker. And we're kind of hoping to see some resolve and maybe another mech battle. But I'm going to save that for part 2. Look out for it, guys, if you want to. If not, take care.